The Light, a series of monthly microclasses designed to expand your consciousness, embrace shamanic wisdom, unlock the power of magic, and connect deeply with Earth's energy. Led by Bernard Alvarez, a spiritual influencer, certified Reiki Master, and dedicated teacher of shamanic, magical, and earth-based practices. These classes offer powerful tools and insights to illuminate your path and empower your true self. Join us as we journey together, exploring ancient traditions and modern techniques to heal, grow, and live authentically. Step into the light and let your inner radiance shine.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to our class of the month. This month, we are going to be doing a class on meditation in recovery. So you're wondering, why did I pick a class called Meditation in Recovery? Well, if you've been following me, you'll know that over the last, actually, it was back in August, I did present this particular class for an Al-Anon state conference here in Virginia. And many of you asked me to please present it on my channels on Facebook and on YouTube and everywhere else that I am. But these are where we're streaming live today. What I did do is I did change a little bit of it to focus on all recovery as well. I've incorporated it for anybody who is just dealing with chaos in their life, no matter whether you're in recovery or not. So I do hope that you get something out of this. I know I really enjoyed presenting it at the conference, and I'm hoping that you will enjoy it as much as I do presenting it today. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Here we go. So welcome to Meditation and Recovery, Nurturing Inner Peace and Resilience. Like I said, this is a program that was created for an Al-Anon conference, but it does affect and is available to anyone in any type of 12-step recovery program, and or just people that are dealing with a chaotic life. I find that we're all in some form of recovery anyway, so you will certainly get something out of it. My main intention was to help people realize that meditation is not as complicated as many make it out to be. Meditation can be very simple, and we are going to get into the nuts and bolts of it, of what it really is, what it can be, and what it can be for you. How can you apply a meditation practice into your life, whether you're in recovery or just dealing with stuff and ready to have some inner peace and resilience and inner growth. So let's go ahead and get started. Dive a little deeper. So why meditation? So meditation is a valuable tool. It's about finding serenity and strength amidst the challenges of living with addiction, alcoholism, and a chaotic life. What we're doing here today is we're creating a non-judgmental space for everyone to explore meditation practices. Again, I want to emphasize that this class is for anyone open to this, anyone in recovery, regardless of your program, your affiliation, or non-affiliation. I've catered it or tailored it for anybody who is looking for inner peace. So I'm trying to do the chat now. They've changed my chat thing. I do see you, Julie. Hi, Julie. Good to see you. I'm going to be bouncing back and forth from the chat, but in the meantime, Let's understand what meditation is. I really feel that meditation gets a really bad rap because people think that it's about monks in a cave and we're all ignoring life and just focusing on quieting the mind and being perfect and perfect thoughts. And that's not what it is. It literally is just a practice of training the mind to focus. Hear that clearly. It's a practice of training the mind to focus and to cultivate awareness. And this leads to a sense of inner calm and clarity. Now, there are many different kinds of meditation practices. Some of them include mindfulness. For those of you that don't know what mindfulness is, it's a meditation practice of cultivating present moment awareness in a non judgmental and accepting manner. The idea is to focus attention on what is happening right now, such as the sensations of your breath, bodily sensations, sounds, or thoughts without trying to change or suppress them. I talk about mindfulness quite a bit in my shadow program, my shadow series, where I talk about just sitting with your emotions, feeling them, and letting them be without judgment. And we're going to go into more of that a little bit deeper later in today's class. Of course, we have guided imagery or a guided meditation. I'm sure that's probably the most common one that most people know. I know when I first began doing meditation, it was just a lot easier to do guided meditations instead of uh, doing the work myself. So it's kind of helpful to do that. And then one of my favorites, and this is one that I have come to love and do every morning, is loving kindness meditation, known as Metta Bhavana. I hope I'm saying that right, Metta Bhavana. This is a practice that involves generating feelings of compassion and love toward yourself and others. I'm sure you've seen videos of my videos where I do share these types of meditations and practices. It involves silently repeating phrases like, may I be happy, may I be healthy, and may I be at peace. And then extending those wishes outward, including loved ones, neutral people, and even those with whom we've had conflicts. The goal of loving kindness meditation is to cultivate a sense of universal goodwill and empathy, fostering a more compassionate and interconnected outlook on life. So, again, I want to really emphasize this, that meditation is not about suppressing our thoughts, but rather observing them with kindness and letting them pass. Meditation is not judgmental. You don't need to be a perfect meditator to meditate. Um, the whole idea is for us not to judge our thoughts or our feelings. We need to reduce the pressure to perform or achieve specific outcomes. If you're meditating, let me expand my vision here. I want you to be able to see me better. If you're meditating and you're distracted, acknowledging that you're distracted is a form of meditation. It happens to me every single day. I can be doing my morning practice and I'll hear a dog barking outside, and I'm like, oh my God, that dog is barking. But I just sit there and I go, oh my God, that dog is barking. And I try to reel my thoughts back in. Whether I do or not, it is the act of being aware of my thoughts, of observing my thoughts. And I want to say that that's a great way of starting silent meditation practice, just to sit there in silence, see what you see, feel what you feel, hear what you hear. You don't need to have a quiet mind to observe your thoughts. It is a step of meditation. It is meditation. And I'll get more into that later. I do want to clarify that it's a first step for meditation. But let's go ahead and move forward with all of this. So this is my favorite book. As many of you know, I do go to Al-Anon as a child of an alcoholic, and my favorite book is Courage to Change. For those of you that are wondering what this is at the bottom there, just for today, I will have a quiet half hour all by myself and relax. I don't care if you're in recovery or not. Even before my journey into recovery, I made sure that I had me time, even if it was just a half hour. It's so important to give ourselves that space, to make space for ourselves, whether it's to meditate, to pray, to chant, to just lay there and say, oh my gosh, I'm so exhausted. Whatever it is, you are allowed. So, but the thing is, and I don't feel that people realize this, the thing is, you will never have that half hour of me time if you don't make it a priority. And if you're someone like me who is busy 14 hours a day, running from project to class to client to whatever it is, making a video, what I have a very, very hectic schedule, but it is important that I carve out that half hour in the morning. You can do it any time of the day, it doesn't matter, but it is up to you to make that decision that you are going to carve out that time. It I know a lot of people will say, but I have children, or I have this, and I have that. Um, well, I'll use that as an example. Many of the people that I talk to that have issues with carving out that half hour of me time are the ones who are, busy parents at work that have to take care of their children. Let's say, and someone brought this to my attention. I don't have to drop off my kids or take my kids anywhere. I have one child, and he doesn't live with me, so it's easier for me. However, what if after you drop off your kid, you maybe drop them off 15, 20 minutes earlier, you get home and you just sit down for even 15 minutes. But it's up to us to prioritize ourselves. And I think that's the point I'm trying to make with that last slide, is that it's up to you to prioritize your time, your healing, and your time to meditate if that is what you so choose that you would like to do. All righty, let's go ahead and move on. So why meditation in recovery or not in recovery? Again, I kind of use recovery interchanging with a chaotic life that I need to recover from. But so why meditation and recovery? I know there are a lot of 12-step programs out there, and I'm grateful that they all exist, and they are all there for those of us with that tailor to our specific needs. But it's fair to say that meditation in any type of recovery is going to offer you a refuge from the chaos and the stress of dealing with the effects of addiction, of alcoholism, and a chaotic life. It doesn't matter whether you're the addict or you're the husband of the alcoholic, or you just have a very busy, chaotic, crazy life, or life is overwhelming you. For me, it's important to understand that our thoughts can overwhelm us, whether we are an addict, the family or friend of an addict. Give ourselves the joy and the relaxation and the serenity that comes with meditation. This also helps us to manage our overwhelming emotions, reactions triggered by another person's behavior. It promotes mindfulness and emotional healing. If you're an Al-Anon or in any 12-step program, by the way, these slides are the same slides I used for my presentation at the state conference. So there might be a couple Al-Anons in there, but it could be just emotional healing, dot, dot, dot. It enhances spiritual connection through these meditation practices. It will foster a deeper connection with your spiritual beliefs and a higher power. If you are in recovery, we are told that it's important that we align with a higher power, whether it's a chair, God, goddess, nature, your group. And even if you're not, please, by all means, know that there is some kind of force out there and make that your higher power. It strengthens our recovery program. Boy, does it ever. For those of you in the 12-step programs, this supports step 11, which encourages members to seek through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with our higher power. What I love about this, and I gotta incorporate a little bit of my own practice with this. One of the reasons why step 11 works for me, and yeah, most 12-step programs will say God. I just say higher power just to be all encompassing. I'm not going to shove goddess down my fellow Al-Anon members' throats, even though I will say she. Excuse me. I'm excited talking about this. Let me get a sip of water. I love it because for those of you who practice, for those of you who are involved in the work that I do, spiritual work that I do, or spirituality, earth magic, etc., our goal is to align with our higher self and to allow our higher self to guide us in our day-to-day life and our day-to-day moments. So for me, step 11 was like, I've been doing, well, my goal has been this for decades now. So they used a little bit of different wording, but it's exactly the same thing. I really, really appreciated that. All righty, let's continue on then. So, oh wait, did I skip one? I might have skipped one. Let's go back. Oh no, I didn't. Okay, my bad. So here's a little something about how it works. Here's a little testimonial. So when Lisa joined Al-Anon, she was overwhelmed by her husband's alcoholism. As she worked through the steps, step 11 stood out, sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understood him, praying only for knowledge of his will for us and the power to carry that out. Struggling with prayer, Lisa decided to try meditation. She started with 10 minutes a day, focusing on her breath. Initially, her mind raced with worries, but she persisted. Over time, meditation became her sanctuary. It quieted her mind and brought her to a sense of peace and clarity, which she began to see as guidance from a higher power. During an Al-Anon meeting, Lisa shared how meditation had transformed her journey, helping her feel more grounded and connected. Her story inspired others to explore meditation, deepening their own spiritual practices. Through meditation, Lisa improved her conscious contact with a higher power, finding strength and direction in recovery. Now, I'm not going to lie, when I first went into recovery, I had no ability to make decisions, or I had no direction. I was, as you can imagine, on my knees, as they say. And remembering that I did have the ability, and I had years of practice to, how shall we say, I'm sorry, my camera keeps moving. I had years of practice to do this work to align with my higher self, and remembering that and doing that has really made a very, very big difference to me, not only in my personal recovery, but in my life in general as a whole. And that's really important. So here we go. You're in recovery. You're in some 12-step program. How does meditation support recovery? This is a very important aspect of all of this. So what meditation does is it helps. These are kind of like the benefits, for lack of a better term. It helps you to cultivate acceptance and detachment from the disease of addiction or an alcoholic's behavior, or your own alcoholic and addictive behavior. It gives you the opportunity to be the observer of the behavior and not take it so personally, and to accept that it's there. Uh, I just went through a very personal situation, which many of you know is many of you who follow me on Facebook mostly. I've only pretty much been sharing this on Facebook, where my best friend had a stroke. And I don't want to go too deep into it right now, but I was not doing well those first 2 or 3 days. And because of the tools that I have learned and I've gained not only through my own personal recovery, but through 20, 25 years of meditation practice, probably by the third day, that they say the stages of grief. I feel like I'm at the point of acceptance instead of denial. It only took me 2 or 3 days, whereas let's say 5 years ago, I would have been a mess for a good month. But yes, acceptance and detachment meditation teaches us that. It also will help us develop self-compassion and forgiveness for ourselves. And who can't use more of that? How judgy we are toward others, how judgy we are toward ourselves and our quote unquote imperfections. Meanwhile, the whole time we are being perfectly us. But the reality of it is that meditation will help you develop these tools. It strengthens your boundaries and your assertiveness in relationships. One of the things that I never understood was creating boundaries. Oh my goodness. The first time I created a boundary with someone, I felt so much guilt, so much shame. The reality of it is that we all have a right to create boundaries, not out of hate, but for our own self preservation of inner peace and serenity. The other day, something happened to me, and I was speaking with my sister, and I was kind of all over the place. And she mentioned something like, you're having dysregulation. We were talking like therapy talk, and I really appreciate that. And I was like, yeah, I kind of lost my center. I kind of lost my inner peace. But you know what? And it's because I let someone break a boundary that I had created for them or that I created for myself. It's not even for the other people. This is what I need. I am allowed to have boundaries. I am allowed to have a boundary that people do not have the right to come up to me and drain me of my energy. I have the right to develop a boundary for I don't want to say keeping chaos out of my life. Life happens. There's always going to be chaos, but not to have others feed into that and push that on me. There's a gentleman that I work at a local community center, and there's a gentleman that always comes in and he's always flying off the rail, doesn't say hello to anybody. And I always say, whoa, whoa, whoa. Please do not shove your energy onto me, your chaotic energy. And I say it very nicely, and they take it. I mean, and they take it in a way of, you know what, you're right. I just moved in here and I shoved all my chaos on you. And you have that right, whether it's in your home or your job or your work. It's not to say that we're allowed to be defensive, but through gentle and diplomatic discourse, we can say, I feel overwhelmed when you approach me like this and not feel guilty about it. And I think that's the really awesome thing about meditation is it strengthens your boundaries and your assertiveness and all of your relationships, your partner, the addict that you live with, the alcoholic you live with, your best friend, your party friend, the people you work with, whatever it might be, it will strengthen that because you'll feel more centered and you'll have that clarity to say, this boundary is important to me and I have the right to be assertive to protect it. It also enhances your resilience. Good example, what I was just talking about, and coping skills to navigate challenging situations. And who doesn't need more of that? The reality of it is that this can be a powerful support tool for anybody, whether you're in recovery or not. I'm going to take a second and click over on the chat. I heard a couple little beeps, and I wanted to say hello to some of you. And let's see. I see, of course, I already said hi to Julie on Facebook. I see Brian on Facebook. Hi, Brian. Great to have you here. Thank you. Um, my answer of my friend doing better, they're doing the best that they can, and the services offered to them are top notch. So I don't want to go into too much of it here, but thank you. Uh, oh, great, Julie. Julie says I've guided her into faster processes. That's so important, and that's exactly it. Life is going to happen. How we react, how long we stew in that craziness or self-induced craziness, for lack of a better term, it makes a big deal. How quickly can we bounce back? How far, in psychology, many of you know, and I've never hidden it. Many of you know I suffer from PTSD. And one of the things that my therapist tells me, or we talk about, is this thing called the zone of tolerance. It's like, okay, when you're really in a state of panic, or just that trauma just keeps replaying in your head, like happened to me earlier this week, your zone of tolerance is really, really small. But as you work on the tools of self-acceptance, of using meditation, of the tools you might learn in recovery, that zone of tolerance begins to get bigger and bigger. And even though you might slip back into, I told my Al-Anon sponsor the other day, I was like, oh my goodness, after what happened this last week, I was back to step one. I'm on, by the way, I'm on step 5 right now, but that's a whole other story. But uh, I was just right back at step 1. But you know what? I bounced back quickly. For those of you that don't know, step 1 is basically the acceptance part. I accept I have no control over life, over things around me, over people around me, over the people's behavior around me. And I'm powerless over certain situations. And that's a tough one to swallow, especially dealing with a friend's very, very critical illness. Anyway, enough about that. It does help you come back and bounce back much more quicker. Meditation is that key for me. And I'm sure it would be for anybody that practices it. Let's move on. Other ways it helps, and boy, and this is definitely for anybody. It doesn't matter whether you are in recovery or not. It does reduce stress and anxiety. It helps you calm your mind and body. It reduces the stress and anxiety that accompanies the challenges of living with someone affected by alcoholism or addiction or of life. It enhances emotional regulation. When you're fostering mindfulness meditation, this is going to help you become more aware of your emotions. You'll be able to sit with them, not take them so personally, and you'll be able to handle them and manage them much more effectively. And boy, does that does lead to improved emotional stability. And don't we all want that? I know I keep saying, and don't we all? But it's true. I get excited about this stuff. This will improve your sleep quality. Regular meditation will, it says can, it does, lead to better sleep by promoting relaxation and reducing the mental chatter that can keep you awake at night. I'm going to share it with you that when I get mental chatter all the time. I also, I haven't had the official ADHD, um, whatever it's called. I haven't done the test with a shrink, for lack of a better term, but my therapist is like, you have it. You need to get a certified practitioner that can give you a proper legal diagnosis. And I get that chatter. I get that chatter. And so here we go. I'm telling you, I've got PTSD, I have ADHD, and I'm a child of an alcoholic. And with meditation, when I'm having that chatter at night, I do have the ability to fall asleep quicker. We're going to do the practice later, but what I normally do is I will count my breath, or I'll do one of those full body meditations where I feel my legs getting relaxed, or I feel my hips getting, working up my whole body to feel that full body relaxation technique. But you got to do the work, though. You can't just say, I'm meditating and relax. And it does take practice. I'm talking about for sleep quality, You can't just sit there and, count sheep, even though that is a form of meditation, if that's what you want to do. It's funny, though. One of the ways I used to help myself fall asleep before I got involved in all of this, 30 years, I'm talking when I was like a teenager. Well, I would count. I would just keep counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I would count up to 6, 7, 800, but I would eventually fall asleep. But you have to do the work. You can't wish yourself better. You can't wish yourself healed. You can't wish recovery. There has to be work done. So I'm hoping that you realize it's a lot easier than you might think it is to incorporate meditation into your recovery practice and or your life. So let's go into those easy meditation techniques. I said I was going to introduce you to some. If you haven't found them already, um, I'm trying to find my notes here. Okay. All right, simple meditation technique suitable for beginners. So I'm going to explain a few of these, and then we're going to practice it. So I hope you'll join me in practicing some of this. So these are some simple ones that you can jump into right after this class. You can jump into it tonight before you go to bed. You can jump into it tomorrow morning while you're having your coffee before the kids are awake. And yet I found that coffee does not affect me when it comes to meditation. Some people might be different, but that little quiet moment that you have in the morning would be very useful for any of these. So with mindfulness of breath, that's my favorite one. Focus on the sensation of breathing in and out, and then anchoring your attention to the present moment. Pretty easy stuff. And then this is the one I was talking about earlier that helps me fall asleep, is progressive muscle relaxation. I love this technique. I learned this technique just a few years ago, which I found very interesting. I did I won't go into it. Anyway, I was working, doing a marketing thing for somebody, and I got to take their class to market their class. Anyway, systemically tense and release different muscle groups to release physical tension and promote relaxation. In other words, let's say you're laying in bed, you can't sleep. You tighten your feet muscles, all the muscles in your feet. You hold it for a few seconds and you relax them. And then you move up to your calves. Tighten your calves as tight as you can. Hold it for 3 or 4 seconds and relax them. And working your way up to your thighs, same thing, until you've gotten all the way up to your face and you're scrunching your face. And then at the end, just tighten everything, every muscle in your body. Make it tense for about 3 or 4 seconds, and then just let it go. That is a wonderful meditation practice. Gratitude meditation. I need to do this more. Especially, you know what? We got a holiday coming up on gratitude, so this might be a great time to do that. Reflect on blessings and moments of gratitude, fostering a sense of appreciation and perspective. I'm going to share a personal anecdote with you on that one. Sometimes we can't figure out something that we're grateful for, and I've been there. I'm sure all of us have. About a year ago, I went through a situation, or 2 years ago. Thank goodness it's been a couple of years now. I've got a great roommate now. You all might be getting to know them. But I had one that was really a mess and was an addict, and I didn't realize that they were still using. Anyway, I was so stressed out. I was so angry. I ended up calling my sponsor, and my sponsor said to me, "Now, you need to practice gratitude." I'm like, "What do you mean I need to practice gratitude for what? This guy's driving me crazy." I don't know. But she said, and this is a great tool, so that's why I'm sharing it with you. She said, I want you to think about 5 things that you are grateful for in the last hour. It's like, what? In the last hour? In the last hour, I've been pissed off and, this driving me crazy. No, no, no. There's got to be something that you're grateful for in the last hour. And and it could be as simple as, and she was like, make it as simple as you want. I was like, okay. Well, I did go get a snack and I was grateful to have food in my fridge. Okay, so there's one. Um, there's been a lot of storms lately and our power hasn't gone out. Okay, well, two, et cetera, et cetera. You'd be amazed if you take the moment to even think about 5 things that you are grateful for in the last hour. You're breathing, you're alive. Your doggy came and nuzzled you and gave you, a loving lick, or your cat came and cuddled with you. That's something to be grateful for. We all have things that we can be grateful for. So if we can't look at our life as a whole and what we're grateful for, give yourself a break. Think about the last hour and think about what you're grateful for in the last hour. It really helped me a lot, and I hope you appreciate you sharing that very personal story. Appreciate me sharing that personal story. Anyway, and then of course, visualization meditation. All you have to do is imagine a peaceful scene or begin to visualize positive outcomes to create and cultivate inner peace and optimism. I'm not going to lie, when I'm stressed out, there was no way that's going to happen. But once I get to a place where I am relaxed enough, I can do that intentional work. For those of you that watch my Sabbats and my magical work and whatnot, a lot of that is what we do. We're visualizing ourselves with the desired outcome, or the most helpful outcome, or the most beneficial outcome to ourselves and everyone involved. That's a great way to meditate. It's a form of meditation. So go ahead, you try different techniques. You have to find what actually works for you. Let's go ahead and we're going to do one of these practices now. So let's practice. What I'm going to do is we're going to incorporate a couple of them, and you can figure out which ones they are. It's actually, don't try to figure it out until we're done. But what I'd like us all to do, if you're going to participate, is I want you to set up your meditation space. Place your cushion or your chair where you need it. Ensure the area is clean and free of distractions. I'll give you a moment or two to do that. If there's a fan blowing in your face, move it out of the way. If your cat keeps trying to jump on your lap, put her down, even though she might jump on again. And now let's go ahead and assume the correct posture. So what is the correct posture? Sitting cross-legged or on the chair with your feet flat on the floor. I want you to keep your back straight and relax your shoulders. Make sure that your shoulders are dropped and not up against your ears. If you need to, kind of do that circular shoulder thing that a lot of people do. And rest your hands on your knees or on your lap. And with that said, a lot of people are like, should I put my palms up or put my palms down? It's whatever's comfortable for you. It's whatever's comfortable for you. Sometimes I'm comfortable with my palms up. Sometimes I'm comfortable with my palms down. And now align your head with your spine and just slightly tuck in your chin. And let's begin. I'd like you to close your eyes. You can keep them slightly open and gaze at a spot in front of you if you want. Personally, I prefer my eyes closed. And what I'd like you to do is to take a few deep breaths to settle in. Let's take a deep breath in through our nose, filling our belly. And exhale. Taking a deep breath in, filling our belly. And exhale. And then one more. I always do 3. One more deep, deep breath in. Hold and exhale. And just return to your natural breathing rhythm. And as you return to your natural breathing rhythm, just focus on the sensation of your breath entering and leaving your nose. And just feel the warmth of it going in through your nose. And let's just do this for a few moments, just focusing on the sensation of your breath. And while we're doing this, I'd like you to notice how your mind seems to be a little calmer, how your body seems to be a bit more relaxed, just by focusing on the sensation of your breath. And if your mind begins to wander, which it will, just gently guide it back to the sensation of your breath. Bring your focus back. And again, just another reminder, if your mind wanders, bring your attention back to the sensation of your breath. And let's just take a few moments of silence for reflection. And when you're ready, you can gently open your eyes, keeping yourself back in this space, bringing yourself back to this time and space. I think you all did pretty good, don't you? Anyway, there is just so. By the way, you just meditated. That was a lot easier than you thought, wasn't it? It's not complicated. It really is not complicated. Um, yeah, I can just leave it at that. I'm going to take a moment to see. I heard a couple beeps. I just want to acknowledge those of you that are in the chat. Oh, yay. Hello, Linda on Facebook, my old buddy. Thank you for being here. And my dear, dear friend, Renata, thank you for joining me on Facebook. And my sister, Kathy, thank you for being here. How are you? Anyway, I hope this was a good refresher for those of you that practice meditation. I hope this was a nice introduction for those of you that might be in recovery and just didn't know what to make of meditation, or for anybody who's having chaos in their life and thought meditation was like this hardcore, heavy duty, I have to go into the woods and be quiet for 3 days naked type thing. It's not. It really isn't. It's so much easier. Give yourself a break. If you can focus on your breath, you can meditate. That's as simple as that. Yes, there are lots of forms. I would love for you to try different forms. I do a Zen meditation where I count my breath and I increase that count. I do that. Well, I told you, I share that loving kindness meditation where I just focus on my well being, that I'm okay and everything's good. And of course, for my magical work, I see positive outcomes in my life of that which I need to bring into my life. There are just so many different forms. Remember, let's bring it back to the beginning. I'm going to have to pull my notes up for that because going back with those slides will take forever. But remember that meditation is a practice of training the mind to focus and to cultivate awareness, leading to a sense of inner calm and clarity. It's a practice of training the mind to focus. There's no perfectness here. We can all do it. I know you all can do it. Anyway, that's it for today. I will make a quick announcement that this month, due to the holiday and due to my insane schedule and me trying to carve out time to spend with my friend who's sick, I'm not going to be doing the shadow, or I'm not going to be doing a shadow episode this month. I'm sorry, December shadow episode, and I will not be doing the light microclass, which is what this is. I won't be doing a class in December. However, we are celebrating Yule. So I will probably see you around. I haven't scheduled it yet, but it'll be probably the Tuesday closest to the winter solstice. It's probably about three weeks away or so. But I will see you then. I hope you enjoyed this class. And I just want to thank you for everything. Thank you for joining me in this. And I look forward to celebrating the next class, the next episode of Shadow, and of course, our Yule celebration. I will see you all then. I love you. Bye-bye.
Friends, if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends. And if you'd like to unlock some amazing exclusive perks like special classes, meditations, courses, and more, consider becoming a supporting member of my channel. Just click subscribe on Facebook or join on YouTube. I love you, friends, and I'll see you next time.